I'm sure you've heard the news. Mark's gone. It was a shock to everyone who knew him. Mark was not just any ordinary person. He was a seasoned urban explorer, someone who had a passion for uncovering the hidden stories of abandoned places. His disappearance has left a void in our community, and the mystery surrounding it has only deepened with time. Vanished without a trace after investigating the old Henderson house. The Henderson house, a place shrouded in mystery and fear, had always been a topic of local folklore. Many believed it to be haunted, a place where the past lingered in the shadows, waiting to ensnare the unwary. Mark, with his insatiable curiosity, couldn't resist the allure of such a place. Mark had a knack for exploring abandoned places. He was drawn to the stories they held, the echoes of lives once lived within their walls. Each creaking floorboard, each peeling wallpaper, told a tale of its own. He had explored countless such places, each time emerging with a new story, a new piece of history to share. That eerie beauty of decay drew him in like a moth to a flame. The way nature reclaimed what was once man-made fascinated him. The juxtaposition of life and decay, of beauty and ruin, was something he found profoundly moving. It was as if these places were alive, breathing, waiting for someone to listen to their stories. So when he heard whispers about the Henderson house, he couldn't resist. The stories were too compelling, the mystery too enticing. He had heard tales of strange occurrences, of people hearing voices, seeing shadows that shouldn't be there. It was said that the house had a life of its own, that it could ensnare those who dared to enter. On a cold autumn evening he arrived, the house looming like a dark secret at the end of a gravel path. The air was crisp, the leaves crunching underfoot as he made his way towards the house. The sun was setting, casting long shadows that seemed to reach out and grab at him. The house stood there, silent and foreboding, as if waiting for him. Vines crept over its cracked facade, windows shattered like hollow eyes. The house looked as if it had been abandoned for decades, left to the mercy of time and nature. The vines seemed to strangle the life out of it, while the broken windows gave it a haunted, hollow look. It was a place that had seen better days, a place that held secrets within its walls. With a flashlight in hand, Mark stepped inside. The door creaked open, revealing a dark, dusty interior. The beam of his flashlight cut through the darkness, illuminating the decaying remnants of what was once a home. The air was thick with the smell of mold and rot, a testament to the years of neglect. The air was thick with dust and rot, the silence oppressive. Every step he took seemed to echo through the empty halls, the sound amplified by the silence. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling, swaying gently in the breeze that came through the broken windows. It was as if the house was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. As he snapped pictures, shadows clung to the corners, whispering secrets. The flash of his camera illuminated the dark corners, revealing glimpses of the past. Old furniture, covered in dust, stood as silent witnesses to the passage of time. The shadows seemed to move, to shift, as if they were alive, whispering secrets that only they knew. Deeper into the house, the air grew colder, breaths misting in the dim light. The temperature seemed to drop the further he went, his breath visible in the dim light. It was an unnatural cold, one that seemed to seep into his bones. The house seemed to grow darker, more oppressive, as if it was trying to push him away. Footsteps echoed unnaturally, louder and more distorted until they no longer sounded like his own. Then a whisper, faint but unmistakable. It was a voice, soft and distant, calling out to him. He stopped, listening, trying to make out the words, but they were just out of reach, like a memory that he couldn't quite grasp. The house was speaking to him. It was as if the very walls were alive, whispering secrets, telling stories of the past. He felt a chill run down his spine, a sense of unease that he couldn't shake. The house seemed to be watching him, waiting for him to make a move. Mark pressed on, drawn by a need to understand. He had come this far, and he wasn't about to turn back now. He needed to know what the house was trying to tell him, what secrets it held. He moved deeper into the house, the darkness closing in around him. But as a shadow flickered past and whispers turned to screams, he realized, too late, the house was not just a place of decay and ruin, it was a place of torment, a place where the past refused to die. The shadows seemed to come alive, moving towards him, the whispers growing louder, more insistent. This house didn't just hold secrets, it held souls. The realization hit him like a cold wave. The house was a prison, a place where the souls of the past were trapped, unable to move on. He could feel their presence, their anguish, their desperation. They were reaching out to him, trying to pull him into their world. The next morning his car was found abandoned. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, leaving no trace behind. The car stood there, silent and empty, a stark reminder of his disappearance. The authorities searched the house, but there was no sign of him. It was as if the house had swallowed him whole. Mark was never seen again. And the Henderson house? It became a place of legend, a place where the curious and the brave would go, hoping to uncover its secrets. But none who entered ever returned. The house stood there, silent and foreboding, a monument to the past, a place where the echoes of the past still lingered. It still echoes with the screams of the curious. The house remains a mystery, a place where the past and the present collide. It is a place of shadows and whispers, of secrets and souls, and it waits patiently for the next curious soul to enter, to become a part of its story.